What's next? The best way to win an argument is not to have it. When you have an argument with somebody and you're on two sides of a subject, you have diametrically opposed opinions, how can you have a constructive argument? Because normally, unless it's due to health or safety, what does winning the argument get you? And when you raise things up to a higher level of emotion, you're kind of losing the conversation of itself. It should just be a discussion where two people who respect each other mutually just talk about it. And once anger or sadness or offense is felt by you, you gotta stop. Because even if you're winning the discussion, even if you have better points, if you're being offended, if you're sad or angry, you're not going to be at your best self. You're not going to be able to present your side in the most fair way possible. And that's all that really matters, because if you're having a discussion about anything, of course part of you wants to convince them of why you're right. But another part of you should be able to listen and see what they have to say. Not to have them sway your opinion, but more to understand what their point of view is, so you can understand that maybe you misunderstood the subject or they misunderstood the subject. When both sides are on an equal, relaxed, friendly state, you're able to listen better. And sometimes arguments aren't about what you're actually discussing. There are side things that kind of get pushed in there and cause you to lose focus on the real subject. And then once interpersonal insults come involved, the whole argument is lost. No matter what side wins, the whole thing is lost. So if you're having a discussion with somebody and you want to convince them of something because it's important, you have to listen to them first. You have to find out where they are coming from and why they believe their point of view. Even if you think it's misguided, you have to still listen to that and see where their points are. If they have points that you can't address, then really there's not much more to continue the conversation. Because a lot of times people really are just going out to hear themselves talk. They don't want to convince you of anything. They just want to prove that they're right. And even if they're a really close friend, if this really close friend just wants to prove they're right, there really is no reason to continue the conversation. And your best bet is to just quietly listen. And whenever they ask a question, you answer it in a very succinct, calm way possible, because you want to keep the friendship. And you got to think to yourself, is it really worth losing this friendship over this argument? I mean, sometimes it is, but it's good just to let it table, because walking away from a friendship doesn't have to happen now. It can be gradual and it can be over the course of time. And I think that's a lot what's happening right now. A lot of people are just looking to be offended. They just want to be heard. And they want to be heard for other reasons, and not the reason why they're shouting, but there are other reasons to back it up. So they're already on a bad ground. So even if their argument, if their stance is wrong, they're going to defend it, because it's become a personal battleground for them to be proven right because of past offenses that have built up behind them. So sometimes at the end of the day, when you're having a heated discussion and it turns into an argument, and you know you're not going to convince them, they're not going to really listen to you, your best bet is just to listen to them and prove that you're the better person. And that's, it's kind of petty, but why get upset? Being angry is like holding a hot coal to throw at your enemy. really what's going to happen is you're going to get burned and your enemy's not even going to notice anything. So it's best not to be angry, and if you find yourself being angry, upset, or offended, it's best just to end the conversation right there and then. Or at least just make it a point that you're just going to listen to them and let them spout on. And you're not going to let them offend you or insult you. If they're going to insult you, just walk away. Don't accept being insulted. And you can flat out say, they insult you, you say, I'm not accepting you insulting me. This conversation is over, and you can walk away. That's the end of, they say, well, but they keep going on, and you say, I will not be insulted. I will not be treated like that. That happens a lot with political stuff, when politics really isn't in of itself that major a thing. There are things behind it, there are agendas behind the politics that are important, but the politics itself, the politicians, aren't really that important. But the people who support them get really, really, really riled up and really offended and start insulting each other and losing all their good graces they have with each other. Really, debate should be two people who respect each other, who are willing to listen. Even if you're not going to agree, at least agree to listen. And that's going to make the world a better place. It's going to make an easier place for all of us. And when people start arguing with you, you have every right to walk away, or if you can, just stand there and listen to them jabber on about nothing. And if they happen to say something important because you're listening with compassion, then you can talk to them about it. But if they're just going to keep going on, just let them talk, because that's all they want in the first place. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? What's next?